Who do you think makes the best pizza in the whole world? And how would it compare to a fast food like Domino's or Papa John's? One of the many reasons that people love pizza and is consumed by so many people is the fact that it's customizable. You can add stuff to sauces or take away sauces. You can add different meats, vegetables, or even cheeses. Some of the fan favorites and the toppings our audience enjoys consist of cheese pizza, veggie or vegetable pizza, and the uncommon Hawaiian pizza. I'd argue that a crust makes or breaks a pizza. It's the first thing that goes into your mouth and hits your taste buds. And if it's good, most likely will have you coming back for more. With a little practice and a whole lot of flour, you too can be flinging dough like the pros. First, there's a few different styles of pizza. You have the Chicago or deep dish pizza. You have the New York style pizza and the Neapolitan pizza, which is the style of crust we will be making today. Before you can get to stretching, or as I like to say, flinging the dough, you have to make the dough. What goes into it? Well, the Kitchen Whisperer has a pretty good recipe. I've done my research and I have tested and experimented several other recipes, and the Kitchen Whisperer has found a good one. It is consistent and it is very flavorful. Everything on here is the exact same as it is on the website except the sugar. I've added some sugar. I found it adds just a slight bit of sweetness to the dough, which I prefer. First, you have 1 pack of active dry yeast. Next, you have 1 1/4 cups of water, followed by 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt and 1 1/2 teaspoons of sugar or honey. Then you have 3 1/2 cups of flour, and then 2 1/2 teaspoons of olive oil. Now, the order you do these in is very important. I've just listed them in the order that I typically mix them up, and it has worked out pretty great. When it comes to water, I recommend using warm water. Some people will recommend using cool water. I prefer warm because it helps the salt, sugar, and yeast all dissolve and activate together. Once those 4 have been added, mixed up, add 1 cup of flour at a time, stirring together with a fork. Once you get to 2 cups of flour, it's going to get a little bit annoying, a little bit thick and sticky. Add your 3rd cup, and after stirring for a little bit, remove excess dough off of the fork and transfer your dough onto a floured, clean, flat surface where you can then knead, which consists of using your palms and pressing the dough until it is all mixed up and combined together. After you've added that 3rd cup of flour, as I said, add to the surface, your floured surface, knead, and then that is when you add your oil. This helps create a soft and elastic ball of dough, which will then help with the rising process and the overall flavor of the dough. Once the oil is kneaded in, you will then set your dough aside for around an hour, hour and a half in a room temperature area. The ball should double in size. After that time, you will then be ready to toss it. For that, you want clean hands, clean surface, floured hands, floured surface. You will then dump the dough onto the counter. After that, you want to make sure you have at least 1 to 2 feet of clearance above your head. You can obviously crouch down if you need to, but it is nice to have a little bit of space. The daily meal suggests no fingertips. Fingertips are a no-no. They create holes in the dough and is not what you want. So from there, after your dough is done resting, dump it out on a surface, cut in half or in fourths, depending on how large you would like your pizzas to be. I have cut this one in half. It's a little bit easier to throw. You will then take your cut in half dough ball, smash the air out of it. Then you will create a ring where the middle is flatter or thinner than the outside edge. From there, you will have a 8 to 10 inch pizza dough. The key to a good toss is left hand in a fist. Not super tight, just a relaxed fist. Right hand, you want what I call Tarzan knuckles. That's where your knuckles make that shape. You want your left wrist in front of your chin. Next, you want your Tarzan knuckles out in front. To create the tossing motion, you will then throw or lift up. Right hand comes toward your face. Left hand goes away from your face, creating a spinning and floating motion. You will then do this 3, 4, maybe 5 times, depending on how thin you'd like your crust to be, and then it'll be ready. So first time, or just starting out, I would recommend just doing this, kind of just little tosses. It's going to stretch out a little bit. And then from there, get in your position and throw. And after that, we have a perfectly stretched out pizza ready for sauce and toppings. You will then place the pizza on the bottom rack of a 450-degree oven for 5 minutes. Remove after 5 minutes and place on the middle rack for 3 minutes. After that, enjoy your pizza. Not only is it delicious, it allows you to have fun in the kitchen, and it allows you to get a little bit messy. It's hard sometimes to motivate yourself to get in the kitchen and make your own food, but this is a great recipe and a great way to make that time well worth it. Thank you.